Hiya, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and do you have any of that cheap white core color cardstock? If you do, bust it out for this technique because it's so fun and easy. I have this gorgeous fuchsia color and this deep teal. This is heavyweight but inexpensive colored cardstock with the white core. I got it from one of the big box craft stores, and I have two Altenew 3D embossing folders, and these cards came together so quick. Here's a couple photos. I'll show you this technique. It doesn't get any easier than this, and I was really excited to use up some of this stuff that I have in my crafty stash. Now, early on in my card making, I used to use this inexpensive colored cardstock for my card bases because it is nice and thick. I don't know that it's quite as hefty as like a Nina Classic Crest Solar White 110 pound, because I'm sure the GSM is different, but it is sturdy enough absolutely to be a card base, and I have quite a bit of it in my stash, and I just remembered it the other day, and I thought, if that has a white core, then I should be able to do this technique with embossing. So I have these two panels cut down to A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and I did spritz them with some water, and I am going to run them through these 3D embossing folders. I have Playful Blooms and Mega Succulent, and I will run these through off screen through my die cutting machine. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6, but use whatever you have and whatever sandwich. And you can see this one cracked, but have no fear, it's actually going to play right into the design. I have noticed the succulent one does tend to crack no matter how much water I use or whatever sort of cardstock, so I just used it to my advantage with this technique. I have this little piece of, or this little handled sandpaper thingy. I have it for actually with my colored pencils. I have it with those little blending nubbies things that are paper that you use with Gamsol and your colored pencils, but you can kind of sand down the paper to get fresh white paper, and I'm actually using that to just sand right off the colored portion of this cardstock because I want that white core to show, because then it creates this cool distressed look and puts these highlights, really accenting the really raised images or parts of the image on this embossing. So I'm holding the panel flat and just kind of holding it on its side and just rubbing it right along and kind of pulling off the colored cardstock and revealing that white core. And isn't that such a cool effect? So now I'm just gonna attach it to card bases like I've done here and shop my sentiment book. And right on page 1 of my sentiment book, I find these Miss You die cuts, which are from Concord and Ninth. I will link all the products in the video description box below, but I thought, wow, isn't this serendipitous? Because they're the exact perfect color. So it's probably more just that I'm drawn to these colors and that's why I have it. But it worked out great in this case. I am just flipping through to make sure that those are the ones that I want to use on these cards. But ultimately, I did actually create those. You could see there's some embossing on those Miss You and some kind of texture, and that was a different video. If I can link or remember to, I'll link that in the video description box as well, just to kind of create some interesting looks on your big stamps like that. So now I'm just adding a little bit of blingage. I attached those Miss You die cuts down with some foam tape just to kind of pop them up and give them some dimension. And then these are 3 different sizes of silver sequins. Like I said, there was some silver embossing on that teal Miss You, so I thought I would continue that look with these sequins. So with blingage or without blingage, I think it looks great. It has a lot of dimension and interest just from that 3D embossing. And then when you add that little distressed kind of sanded off element to add those highlights, it just gives it even more interest. And I love how the white from the sentiments and the slight border, look at me spilling sequins everywhere. A picture of Grace. Anyway, I love how the white kind of ties in with the white of the highlights and the border around the font and then also around the edge of the cards. So just tying it all together, but making some really simple, easy cards. These would be great for gifts. You could make a little set of these and give them to someone for a little gift or for stocking stuffers, you name it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. Like I said, I will link the products in the video description box below. And if they are affiliate links, that will be no additional cost to you, but it does help me out a lot. So thank you so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.